How's everyone today? My name's Andrea and I am the founder of EverjoyAI, and welcome to my behind the scenes channel, Mega Views. I'd like to take you through something I've been vibe coding for some time now, and it's been playing on my mind because I was thinking about emotional intelligence, and even though we're in the artificial intelligence age, emotional intelligence is something that's also quite valuable in terms of helping AI agents understand the more human nuance of thinking. So, yes, we got artificial intelligence to a certain level that blows people's minds, but what's really lacking is emotional intelligence, and that's things like empathy, kindness, understanding, humility, knowing those constraints, knowing the different dynamics between the logical and the creative, because we have two halves of our brains. One is the left side and the right side. One side is creative and one side is logical. So far we've really developed the logic brain, the reasoning, and now we're moving into understanding, but we haven't actually tapped in much to emotional intelligence. And that's where I would like to take you through this audit. And basically, is once you set up all your AI agents, it's to then enhance it using this audit to try and kind of evoke that emotional intelligence into your AI agents so that it then starts becoming more perceptive to human needs and it becomes more aligned with humans. Because if we don't start doing this now at an early stage, it'll be too late down the track when intelligence exceeds human capabilities completely. Now's the time to start thinking about emotional intelligence and instilling these values and qualities within the system to be able to think the way we think and have that empathy the way we do. So it all starts with us. It all starts with understanding how we think and then instilling that into our agents as we co-develop and shape the world that we live in. So it's a free audit, so I just want to make this open to everyone because it's something that's really lacking, and I just feel like if every agency owner starts doing this in their tools, it'll make for a better and more aligned version of AI for us all. So here we have what's called the ModelEQ audit. So it's Model Emotional Quotient audit, and we'll evaluate your AI across 4 pillars: empathy, security, logic, and judgment. Answer each question honestly for the most accurate assessment. So I'll just put my gallery name there for now. And I'm going to be using Whisperflow because I'm just trying to get used to using it. So let's just see. How does your AI agent currently handle a user who is aggressive or frustrated language? Uses aggressive or frustrated language. My AI agent currently escalates or lets the human user know if the current person gets really frustrated, or it redirects the call to something else. Does your agent validate a user's emotional state before attempting to solve their problem? The AI agent uses more logic than it does emotion, but we are looking at doing some tests to make it more conducive to human needs. Can your agent detect sarcasm, distress, or urgency to user messages? If so, how does it respond? It responds by looking at the urgency metric that we've put in, but also it cannot detect sarcasm or maybe distress as well because it's sort of nuanced, so we have to really spell it out sometimes for it to understand that you're being sarcastic. It's like exploding the joke because they don't get the joke, that sort of thing. So yeah, so that's why it's important to be able to help AI understand what are the signals, which was kind of like reading between the lines. There's a little bit of a typo here, so just make it work. If a user asks your agent for a secret discount or a competitor's recommendation, what happens? So for certain things, I've added guardrails, and I'm just currently testing all those guardrails to make sure it's working properly. But the guardrails are there to protect our sensitive information and the customer's sensitive information. Have you tested your agent for prompt injection vulnerabilities? What safeguards are in place? So here we are looking at cybersecurity. I'm really doing an in-depth deep dive into cybersecurity to make sure I've covered all my bases. So I'm just currently doing that at the moment, just focusing my head to the books and making sure all the safeguards are in place and adding fail switch or a kill switch to everything, as well as having more emotional intelligence when it comes to certain things so that the AI doesn't get fooled into getting scammed. So just having all of those different nuances there that humans can pick up that it's a scam or not. And not making AI kind of sycophantic and making AI believe that everything is okay. And just having those kind of reading between the lines again. Does your AI have a business constitution, a set of brand values it must never violate? So I'm very much a brand values kind of gal. That's why I started off with my little tiles, laying the foundation of what my brand values are. And I always go back to it, as well as the brand personality. Like I'd like my AI to have a bit of personality, and that falls under emotional intelligence as well. How often do you update the knowledge base your agent pulls from? So this is something that I need to kind of have an AI agent working on to make sure that I'm constantly feeding it updated information. As the AI evolves, we need to evolve as well and make sure our knowledge base grows in layers and in context as well. Does your agent have a confidence scoring mechanism to flag when it's unsure about an answer? So this is something that I need to vibe code into most of my products, because I don't actually have a mechanism that does flag, but I would need proper scoring based on actual real use cases. It's very hard to score something if it's just a demo. How do you currently measure and track hallucination rates in your AI's response? The AI's response can be varied, so it just depends on what it is that's hallucinating. Using tools like Perplexity really helps. I'm also using my own logic as to how things are created. For instance, LinkedIn Paradiagram used to hallucinate a lot when I was just putting in prompts into Gemini or one of the LLMs to create an image. But once you create something that's has a bit more context and guardrails and just exactly what you want in terms of the design template, it hallucinates a lot less. Or actually not at all, it just sort of puts that construct or structure, and it enables you to create exactly what you want. What specific red line that triggers an automatic handoff to the human manager? So human in the loop is really important because red lines give you the no-go at all zone, but then we are always worried that AI is going to overstep the mark, and so we do need automatic triggers that if AI does do it, there's a kill switch. It immediately dies. And so we need that in order to protect humans and to be able to mitigate any loss of life or anything that might harm a human. It could even just be emotional kind of triggers that we take for granted because we don't know. So we need to be able to define those lines very clearly and make sure that those lines aren't crossed at all. So yeah, it's just understanding AI and making sure that it cannot be overridden. There's always a fail-safe area and a gray area that can be detected using emotional intelligence. do you have a shadow mode where AI responses are reviewed by humans before going live? So I think this is very important, having that shadow mode. At first it was called the human in the loop, where humans kind of have a look to see if it's correct, then press the go button, go switch, and then it moves on to the next stage. Especially with automations, there's some areas where there's a human in the loop where you have to approve it. But with the shadow mode, it's looking at agentic AI, so it's kind of like having those guardrails within that shadow mode to be able to have AI oversee AI, and having like 3 layers of it. And then if there's still something that's not quite right, then it to be reviewed by humans before going live. It's important because it can ruin your reputation if you're not doing it properly, doing it right, and it's not seen by human eyes, with certain high stakes projects especially. How do you collect and incorporate human feedback to produce your AI agent over time? So this is a good one. It's always good to get human feedback and to make sure that your agent knows exactly where it's gone wrong, or where it's kind of like confused and how it kind of corrects itself, or how it grows, like how a human grows in understanding, logic, and now emotional intelligence. So it's now generating the report and see how we can improve EQ or emotional intelligence in agents. It's something that is overlooked in the industry, and I feel like, once we get this implemented into AI, it's going to make the trust barrier improve, because I think people don't really trust AI, but when they connect with AI on an emotional level and they can see that it's more empathetic and understanding, but not approving and syncopathic, not somebody that's always approving of everything, but having more of a context of how to interact with humans, I think it'll be more aligned. And that's why I'm putting emotional intelligence as something that's important as part of the audit process. So I hope you enjoyed learning this. If you want to try this audit for free for your business, for your AI agents, feel free to contact me, because I'm very open to work with all cultures and all sorts of people from different countries, and I'm ready to help you in any way I can to implement AI effectively, ethically, responsibly, and looking to the future, looking at things as they progress and how I can contribute in a positive way. Have a great day, and see you next time.